to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. We are recording this live on Saturday, October 30th, 2021. This is number 96. Man, we are almost at 100. We're so close.
Super close.
So close. Coming up on today's show, we've been playing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. We'll have some thoughts on that. Halo gave us another look at its campaign, and PlayStation held another state of play. On top of that, Amy Hennig's new studio, Skydance Media, is working on a Marvel game. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff indeed. We'll get to all that and more, but for now, my name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Ignacio Rojas.
Hey.
Ignacio, what is going on with you?
Oh man, I'm so hot. It's super hot over here the last couple of days.
Yeah, you're out in Chile.
Yep. So either summer came here super too soon, or winter just took a while to leave. Because it should be spring, right? Because it's fall over there.
Yeah, it's still kind of fall for us. Like, it's just starting to cool off.
So I feel like last week it was super cold here, like winter cold. And then now it's super hot, summer hot. So it all happened very quickly.
Interesting indeed. Have you seen Squid Game yet on Netflix? I finally watched that.
Oh yeah.
This past week. It was pretty good. I ended up enjoying it. I think it started off slow and not super original, but 3-4 of them in, I was just like, okay, starting to hook me. And then by the end of the show, I was like, this is good.
So you finished it?
Yes, I have finished it. I've moved on to then starting to catch up on like Supergirl and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and all that stuff.
Legends of Tomorrow, great. They just had their 100th episode. Yeah. They just had their 100th episode.
On that one yet.
It was a good one.
That's cool. Yeah. I started to watch Supergirl because Netflix only has the first 6. And I had heard that season 6 of the show is the final one, and that's the one that I'm on. And I was like, oh, they must have done like a short season. It must have been affected by COVID, all that stuff. So I watched those first 6 and was like, that wasn't an end to the show. Like, what's going on here? And Netflix they only have the first 6 and is like, watch the new season now. And it's like, you don't have the entirety of the thing. I was so mad. I was just like, I wouldn't have watched this one right now if that was it.
Yeah. I mean, they did have a shorter season. All the CW shows had a shorter season, except for Legends, which already has shorter season. Yeah, well, they
start filming first, right? Like their stuff usually comes on first.
From what I remember, they were the show that was affected the least by COVID. I think they already finished the season by the time COVID started, whereas all the other shows had to stop. Because for example, The Flash, if you watch The Flash, they set out this one villain, and then you get to the final episode of the season, and then it doesn't get resolved. And then when they pick it up the next season, like the first couple of episodes, I think, were about the previous villain still.
Oh, So I'm like right there at that spot. So I'm starting the new ones that just hit Netflix, which like that happened in Supergirl 2, where it was like the first one in season 6 was like, okay, this is the end of last season technically. But they did 18, I think, is what they were planning on for Supergirl, and I think 18 is what they have for Flash, which is still shorter than what they normally
usually
do,
is 23.
Yeah. Anyways,
we
got plenty of Marvel stuff, or just like comic book stuff in general to talk about this week. But you were about to say something about Squid Game, right?
Yeah, going back real quick to Squid Game. Did you watch it sub or dub?
Dude, you know me. I have to watch
Please
the
tell
original.
me you watched it.
I have
Okay.
to watch the original. I'm not like that other guy that may or may not be on the show sometimes.
Look, I have a thing against not dubs, English dubs.
Yeah.
But I we've talked about this with Alan. 90s English dubs, 2000 English dubs, they were bad. Okay, I'll admit that they've gotten better since.
They have. Yep.
But the English dub of Squid Game, come on, man.
From what I've heard, it's
bad.
awful. Well, from what I've heard, it's like specifically if you do the closed captions. If I'm not mistaken.
But even the voice acting that they do.
Well, Netflix has never had good voice acting for their dubs. They've always been terrible. But they're like, from what I understand, I might be slightly off in which one is the more correct one, but there was one like if you're like I think it was the closed captions is the thing where it like completely changes like certain scenes and what characters say and of like what their motivations are. And it's just like, why are you changing this? Like there's no need for any of this.
Yeah.
But
you get it now. You get my
dude.
My
I've always gotten it. I've never argued with that. I'm on your side, Ignacio.
Thank you. I just wanted on record.
We're on the same team here. Don't get after me.
Good. Yeah. Good.
But yeah, so let's talk about. Oh, you know what? I should make sure I have all the jingles pulled up here. So here we go. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Here we go. Ignacio, it's just you and me. So let's kick things off with Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's go straight into that. How far are you in the game so far?
Chapter 8, I think it is. 8,
cool.
9.
So I think you and I are right around the same spot. That's about halfway in, because I know there's like 16 chapters in the thing. So I'm about halfway, I think. So Ignacio, what do you think?
I love it.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. You love it so far.
I love it. I'm enjoying it so much.
Okay.
I enjoy not only the gameplay, the story, whatever. What this game to me does the best is just the banter with the team. Just the back and forth of everyone. You're on a mission and then everyone is shooting the shit, talking. It's so much fun to me. And then the story isn't exactly what I was expecting, but it is deeper than I thought it was gonna be. There is a moment where I started to get very emotional, and overall I'm liking it a lot. Before the game came out, I think I said that this game looked like it could be either good or it could be bad. It could be one of those, but I didn't expect it to be this good, to be honest.
Indeed. I am kind of mixed.
No, I saw your tweet.
Yeah, I like the highs for me are really high. Like I'm really loving the story so far. I think that's been phenomenal. I have been. My YouTube thing is all messed up here. I was about to show the trailer on stream, but that is not looking good. Let me go back. The story so far has been fantastic. I'm loving it. I was also kind of worried about the voices of the characters, like not the voice acting, but the like, is this really gonna be Gamora? Is this really gonna be Rocket? Like, we're not sure here, but they nailed it. All that banter between them is spot on. I've found myself laughing and just being like, this is so dumb. I love this. These guys are idiots. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Dan Abnett, who is one of the writers on the game, who has written a bunch of the comics. So like I was like, okay, I know he's a good writer, but I'm unfamiliar with him in the game space. Like if he knows how to write for that stuff. And as much as I think they nailed the voices of the characters, God, I just wish they would shut up sometimes.
What?
It's like
what?
This is the thing. Like the banter is phenomenal, but it just does not stop. Like there is no silence in this game ever. It is just nonstop, and I'm just like, just for a moment, please, just give me some silence to like think or do something. And it's just like they're just nonstop being like, joke this, or I am Jarax, I do not understand sarcasm, and it's just like it's phenomenal, but it's also just like, shut up, please, for a moment.
It's so funny. It's so funny you say that, because I was gonna say one of the things that I love about the game is that it just keeps going, doesn't stop, and I enjoy every single moment of it. I'm on the opposite of you. I like it because I feel like there is no moment in the game where I'm not entertained. To me, there's no awkward silence. There's no, okay, we're just walking and nothing's happening. I just have to get to the other side. No, to me, I'm constantly entertained by what they say. If it were worst writing, I guess that it could be maybe annoying for me, but I just love them. I think that they are, for the characters that they are supposed to be, I think that they are nailing it. And that's why I like it, that it is so constant.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. I don't think the writing is bad. I don't think the jokes are bad. Again, I'm loving that part of it. But yeah, it's just like there's moments that I'm like, okay, you guys don't need to say anything here. Like, just let me think for a moment. Like, let me process like all of the stuff that has happened, and it's still just like, joke this, joke that. Come on, Gamora, I didn't mean it. Rocket, please. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I know, but but yeah, it's just like I'm mixed. Because I love that stuff. I don't think I like the fighting, the gameplay. I
really,
it's not bad, but I don't think it's clicked for me yet. I eventually had to turn the difficulty down because I kept getting my butt whooped.
Really?
At one part, yeah. It felt like there was a difficulty spike, but I'm also willing to say that, yeah, the fight system just hasn't clicked with me yet.
I never felt any spike. I think the gameplay for me, I think I wouldn't call it bad. I wouldn't call it anything out of this world, fantastic or whatever. I think that it does everything that it's what it is supposed to be. It does it very well for me. Where I did click for me, and to me it's very fluid. How I'm shooting, and then I'm changing from normal shooting to my elemental shooting, to then dodging and jumping and having everyone do their special attacks. Everyone in the team do their special attacks. It clicked for me, and to me it feels very fluid.
Yeah, it doesn't feel fluid to me at all. Especially like targeting. Like if I want to send Jarax to go get someone stagger up, I will like you have to like point your cursor, your like radical at the person you want them to attack, but at the same time I have to like keep moving and dodging, and everyone is moving all at the same time, and so I'll aim at the person that I want, and then I'll hit the button, and usually by time like the command goes through, someone else got in the way, or they've moved out of the way, and it's just like it sucks. And I know it has to like lock on, but sometimes it will lock on to ones that I don't want it to. It's like I wasn't even like looking at you. Like, why are you doing that, or I'll go to like
Yeah.
melee, hit someone, and they are right in front of me, and he just goes in the opposite
Yeah.
direction, and it's just like, what are you doing, Star-Lord? You're an idiot. And it's like his punch and his kick are so slow, and I'm sitting there like mashing the buttons, like, just hit him, come on. And then it does the like quick time counter thing, but by time that pops up, I'm still mashing the button, and it's usually a different button that you have to hit to do the counter. So it reads that I hit the wrong button, and I'm just like, I didn't even know it. God, I hate this. So I do not like the combat. It does not feel good.
Only
all.
thing I'll only think I'll admit here, or that I'm with you here, is that the targeting can sometimes get in the way, where I may want to target someone, but I target someone else. But I think that everything is always so chaotic that even if I targeted the wrong person, it's still helping me out. It hasn't been really a problem for me.
The part that I had the difficulty spike is when it introduces the characters that are like buffing the extra bad guys and stuff. Like they're floating around and they're shielding them and they're buffing them, and it's just like you have to take those ones out specifically first. And I can't get them because I can't target them. And because I can't target them, then they heal themselves. And then it's just like, now we're back to square one. And it's just like,
okay.
This sucks.
Yeah, I didn't have the problem. When they first show you, they show you first, okay, these are the grounds, and then the two characters floating. To me, it was, okay, they are clearly gonna be support characters for the enemies. So I'm gonna go first for them. And I just went straight for them and never had any trouble with them.
That's what I do too. Like I make sure like I am going after you, like no one else. Like fuck the rest of them. I want you. And it's just it just doesn't work. So they thankfully have a great amount of accessibility stuff that you can change and do all that stuff. They have like customizable difficulty stuff. So the only thing that I did right now is I just upped the amount of damage that I do, because I can get to them every now and then, but it just felt like I wasn't doing enough to get them when I needed to kill them and stuff like that. So I upped the amount of damage that I do, not by much, just one tick up, and that seems to have helped. So that's how I'm playing it right now. But right now it's just like I kind of want to go back and keep playing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It is so much fun. And first, to your point, I don't think I've ever seen a game really is like nitty gritty with how much you can customize the difficulty, where you can choose your regular difficulties, but then you can go in and select or change what's a cooldown for the abilities of the other guardians, or how much damage you're taking, or how the lockdown works, or if your health reaches to 0, how long does it take for you to be killed after that. I like how much customization there is there that I wasn't expecting. And then going back to the fun part of it, this game does soundtrack, music, whatever you're gonna call it, better than any other game that I've seen. How it uses the music.
It's a great soundtrack. There's been a couple times I'm taken out of the scene because there is like a song. It's like, oh, I know this song. I love it. It's great. And then like by time I'm like, oh yeah, there was like an important cutscene here when Gamora is talking about some backstory for the intergalactic war that was going on and stuff, and I was like, okay, I just missed that whole like first half of what she said. So, but yeah, I love the soundtrack. It's been phenomenal. I have not looked at the streamer mode. I know that they do the like streamer mode.
I've been watching the kind of funny the playthrough of Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Cortez playing it. So they had to do streamer mode. And it is so weird how they do it, because instead, so they created music for the game. They created a fake band called Star-Lord, and they created music for it. You can actually select the music that they made for that band. They have several songs for that band. And then it is so weird how in streamer mode, the moments where licensed music is supposed to kick in, there's nothing.
Oh,
it's just silent.
Absolutely.
They don't even.
Oh, wow.
They don't even use. They don't even use the band that they created for the game. They don't even use the score of the game. Nothing. It's just silent. When you have the huddle mechanic.
So bad.
The huddle mechanic. So when you do the huddle mechanic, you make this pep talk for the team, and then after that, song starts playing.
Yeah, go team.
Yeah,
and it's just
because
silent.
he's he uses his Walkman for the song, and then it is silent. Or in these other scenes where it is a cutscene, and then like at one point, the first time you get to ride the Milano through space,
right?
Nothing's playing, and they even reference them then playing the music, but there's nothing.
That's terrible. That's awful.
Yeah,
they need to have at least some like generic music on there. Like make a deal with like Shreem Beats or something, right?
They have their own songs.
I know they do. Like they have that, but then that like I feel like they would want to save those songs for certain moments where you really need them. But like just when it's silent and they're like flying out in space or something, just put something generic in there. Like, come on.
Or for example, if you remember the E3 gameplay demo, how they revealed the game, they had a streamer version of that
I remember
gameplay showcase, and they used non-licensed music, but they used music. But then if you go to that part in the game, there's no music.
So weird.
They didn't even use the music that they used for the gameplay reveal that was streamer friendly.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot. I want to keep playing. The story is a lot better than I was expecting. The writing is a lot better. It's a good mix of action and banter and stuff like that. I think just for me personally, the combat doesn't feel great to me. Especially as you start to like expand the moves you can do, because you have to hold down a button to be like, okay, which member of the team do you want to command? Then you have to hit a button to pick which one you want, and then you get another menu to like pick which move you want to do. So if you have it memorized, it's not that bad, right? It's just like L1 triangle X, right? Like that's all you have to hit. You just pick one at random. But yeah, when it's like, I don't really understand, like, okay, how is this move different from the other one? Do I really need to, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why I should do this move in this situation versus that move. And I'm just completely lost, and I can't target things. And Peter does no damage whatsoever. Like, he's so weak. He's so weak. He has his little pew, 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 and they just do nothing.
No, man, you have to use your abilities.
You do, yeah.
Use your abilities, yeah.
You do. Do you find yourself like favoring certain characters? Like do you send in Garut first and then have Gamora, or what's your strategy?
I find that I do not have a preferred character. I find that I have my own. I use them all, and I have my own strategy. For example, I start with Groot, which can grab enemies, and then I go for Drax, which can stagger them, and then I go for Gamora, which can cause a lot of physical damage, and then I go with Rocket, which does a lot of area AOE damage.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's my strategy. I have a combination that I use with them.
That's very similar to what I do. I think I underutilize Groot to like hold people dead down and stop them, and that might actually help solve my problem because he like puts his roots in the ground and that comes up and holds people in place. Instead of the like chaos of everyone moving around and stuff. But I typically try and go for Drax first of like, okay, this is the guy that I need to target. I need to send Drax to go get his stagger up. I can help with some gunshots in with that. But once we have them staggered, then yeah, it's like Gamora and Rocket like back to back of just like do all the damage you can. Go in and do that there. But yeah, that's typically what I've been doing there. So man, this is good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think the only other kind of complaint that I have is when you pick up the like not Easter eggs, but the like artifacts that you can bring back to your ship that then will like spark a conversation with a certain character. Those ones are always so awkward. Like they do the like Fallout style conversation thing where it shows the one person and then it switches to the next one, and they're just very stiff and there's no emotion on the face, despite like Rocket being like, yeah, I was experimented on and I was in love with this one girl named Lila or whatever her name was, and she didn't make it, and like all this stuff. Like it's just like Peter's sitting there just straight faced like, wow, Rocket, that really sucks. Okay, wow. Let's move on. Yeah, and it's just like I like the voice acting is there, but the like facial stuff to match that is not there. And then once that conversation is done, they will leave the room, but then maybe you have to like bring them back in for another conversation about something else. It just seems like there could have been a better way to do some of that stuff.
Wow. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, despite all of its shortcomings or like how like mixed feelings I might have, I'm really enjoying this, and I really hope they get to do another one or like some sequel or something. Yeah, because whatever they fix and improve on, holy shit, like that next game is gonna be good. That's gonna be awesome. So
well, this is what Avengers should have been, honestly. Yeah,
absolutely.
Avengers should have been this, and it's funny that they are both being made by the same people as Square Enix.
Well, published by the same people, not.
Yeah. But aren't they both also Eidos?
No, Avengers was Crystal Dynamics, the ones that made Tomb Raider. This is Eidos Montreal, who made the
other Tomb Raider.
No, this one, the cyberpunk
Deus
game. Yes, Deus Ex. They made those ones. So both great series. If you guys have not played those, go play those ones too. But yeah, thankfully this is kind of picking up steam where maybe Avengers did not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Avengers should have been this. But going back to your what you were saying about facial animations, I have only gotten one artifact, and even then I haven't gotten any conversation out of it. But it's funny to me that you say that, because one of the things that I've been impressed with the game is how good everything looks and how good the facial animations of the game are.
It's specifically in those conversations.
Okay, so it is those conversations, because outside of that, I've been so impressed by how good everything looks, how good everything is animated.
Yeah. Yeah, the game for the most part looks fantastic. But yeah, when you're exploring, you might find a communicator from the Ravagers, or there's one place where you end you can go to the collector's museum, and in his gift shop you can buy something for someone on your crew.
Oh.
And if you get a specific thing, it will when the next time that you're back on the Milano, you can go into that character's room and go find the thing that you bought them, and it will start a conversation.
Oh,
so
okay.
you have to, like, when you're on the Milano, you have to go into their room and like actually start it. So it's missable. But
yeah, I didn't know
good.
that you could do that. You could buy
Good
things.
backstory with all of that stuff there. So yeah. Well, yeah. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Go check it out. It's a good one.
Yeah,
good one indeed.
Very good.
Ignacio, what else have you been playing?
I've also been playing Unmetal. So I talked about it. I talked about it some weeks ago when it got announced. Very close to release. I didn't know what the game was, but Unmetal is at first glance, it's, if you know Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear games, not the Solid games. Metal Gear, it is.
Oh, okay. I remember you speaking about this.
It is about infiltration, top down, all these characters, military base, and all that. Very similar gameplay to it, but oh god, what do we have here?
Talking about right now. What are you guys talking about right now?
Unmetal.
What are you talking about? Unmetal?
Unmetal. This is Gino. What's up?
What's up? How do you guys not recognize my voice, dude? What the hell's going on here?
No, we recognize your voice. We weren't expecting you.
Oh, no?
No.
Well, I didn't tell you to expect me, dude.
Yeah.
Surprise,
Gino's
drop it on Crossplay.
Ooh,
surprise, drop
Gino, where are you?
I'm at a wedding in North Carolina right now.
Wow, is the wedding so boring that
I'm not recording my audio? No, you're gonna get it from Discord. You're gonna pull this from Discord right now.
That's fine. That's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Unmetal, guys. What I've been playing, Guardians Galaxy, love it, 100%.
Nice.
I know you guys are gonna talk about the state of play later, right?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defend it. I think it was really good, to be honest with you. Everyone's talking shit on it, you know.
Gino, we're losing your connection. Sorry, we cannot hear you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be here anyway.
Have fun in the wedding.
Love you guys.
It's super cool.
All right.
Super good.
See you later. Have a good day.
Peace, Gino.
Bye.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
So Unmetal.
What I was like, yeah, Unmetal. So it is very much like an homage to the original Metal Gear games, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 on the MSX.
I gotcha.
Where the game does its own thing is that it is a very comedical take on Metal Gear. So the backstory of the game is that when you start, it starts with you escaping on a helicopter, and you get captured by this military base, this US military base, and so it's you being interrogated by this one officer that wants to debrief you because you are going in a Russian helicopter.
Okay.
And so the whole game is you narrating what happened, how you got to that point. And so what the game does with it is that, so you're in the level, you're going around, and at a certain point, it is your character narrating. And for example, you're in a room, the room is empty, and then your character says, and then I use wire to open this one thing, and then a wire pops up and you use it. Or you're going around a corridor and the corridor is empty, but you say, and then I encounter enemies, and then you have the option 1 enemy, 2 enemies. You can choose 1 enemy and there's 1 enemy there. Okay. Or it's small stuff like that. At one point you get to this one room and your character doesn't remember what was in there, and so it is just question marks floating around. And then when you get back there, you're like, oh, I remember what was in there. There was a ditch, and then a ditch appears. And then there was this one guy that was throwing grenades, and then it is a boss fight with a guy that throws grenade. And so it is a Metal Gear gameplay, but with that type of humor. Where
that's interesting.
Yeah, or in another part, you get to a restroom, and then another character from behind the stall door asks you for toilet paper. So when you give the guy a toilet paper, you as your character, you can just smash through the door and then punch the guy. And then the guy interrogating you will react to it and will ask, hey, why did you punch that guy? Oh, I just wanted my toilet paper back.
That's funny.
And you retrieve the toilet paper. And so it is a lot of those things where it breaks the fourth wall with what you're doing. The game reacts to what you're doing, and then you can affect the game with your decisions. It's so much fun.
That's interesting.
Such a particular game.
Is it only in gameplay where it does stuff like that, or is like does it do similar stuff like that in cutscenes? And
no, it does that in cutscenes.
Like how does that work in cutscenes then of him like not remembering stuff or misremembering stuff?
It will either go ridiculously, or sometimes the character will even bring it up later. Like there's this one running joke where the game starts with you being trapped on a cell. Okay. And so the way you get out of the cell is that you basically fake like you hang yourself so that the guard comes in. But you never explain how you got the rope in the cell. And so throughout the game, the officer will pop in randomly and ask, hey, about the rope, where did you get that rope?
Yeah.
And so that's a running joke through the game.
Interesting. Okay. Cool stuff. So, that seems really neat.
It is very unique, and if you like those type of games, like infiltration games, Metal Gear 1 type of games, you will pretty much enjoy this game because it is that, but with the added humor of it that I wasn't expecting.
Okay. Good stuff. Unmetal, then. And you're playing that on your PlayStation?
Switch.
No, on Switch. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I think that's about it for what we've been playing then. So we will take a quick break for housekeeping, and then we will be right back after that, and we will get into the news and stuff like that. So we'll be right back. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, especially those at the $5 tier and above. So thank you to Sam. We love you. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you for supporting us as long as you have. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Cool things that we have done here at the Whatnauts. We are just about to conclude our horror month here at the Whatnauts. We have, or here on the Whatnauts review show, I should say, which is our weekly book club style podcast. We've covered some movies, some comics, some TV shows, all horror, everything. This past week, we read a comic book called Something is Killing the Children, volumes 1 and 2. Yeah. Scary stuff. This is a great book. I love it. I own the first 3. I think volume 4 comes out sometime in November, so very soon. And it has been optioned to become a Netflix series. And Mike Flanagan, the guy behind Midnight Mass, is the one making it. So you guys like Midnight Mass or The Haunting of Hill House, this might be something you want to check out. Something is Killing the Children by James Tinian IV. Go read that book. It's a great one. We also did a trailer reaction to Lightyear. Both myself and Melissa got to react to that. That's up on our YouTube page, youtube.com/the Whatnauts. Let's go hear our thoughts on all of that stuff. And then on the Captain's Log, we had our Halloween special a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, in which we took old stories from the Captain's Log that we've talked about and shared and all that stuff and twisted them into horror stories. So that was good. That was fun. You guys should go look into all of that stuff. But with that, let us move on and let us get into the news. Boom. Okay. First up on the news, we got Sony's State of Play. This happened earlier this week. It was about half an hour long. We tried to do some predictions here on the show last week, and most of us were wrong, except for Gino, who said,
"I cannot
Little Devil Inside." Yeah,
I cannot believe that
most of us were wrong. Ignacio, before we dive into all the stuff that they announced, what did you think of this State of Play? What were your thoughts in general?
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
That was kind of the same thing with me.
Yeah.
I think the harsh take is this could have been a blog post, or it could have been an email, or just posted on Twitter. But that's not to say
they had the obligation to showcase these games, not necessarily that they had something to show.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Gino mentioned he wanted to defend it. I think I saw him talking on Twitter. I was just like, man, y'all are rude. Like if your friend called you up and was excited to talk about something, and in the midst of that, you were just like, you could have just texted me this.
No,
how would your friend feel?
No, I have a problem with that. It's more
I don't think
like
that fits either.
Your friend felt obligated to talk to you and had nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
but called you anyways.
Yeah, dude, I've had my mom call me with that, and they we're on the phone, and I'm just like, yeah, and she's just like, I don't know,
so,
and I'm just like, well,
how is that?
You called me, so I don't know I don't have anything to say, so.
So video games. How are they?
Video games, who knows?
How are they going?
But like that's not to say that I don't want games like this to be in a state of play.
Sure.
I think for me, it was more managing expectations, which they tried to do. I just don't think it clicked with us of just like, oh, this is what you mean by previously announced third party games. Like if you had said like, oh yeah, these are all going to be like indie games and updates for those, like maybe that would have fit better. But yeah, you go to previously announced third party games, and like the first thing I think about Final Fantasy 16.
Or we talked about it last week. Ghostwire Tokyo, I thought it was going to be a shooing for it, considering how hard they went promoting Deathloop. And Ghostwire Tokyo is their second Bethesda exclusive that they have coming out. They didn't even have that. And yeah, so like it just felt like there was maybe some kind of discrepancy of what they were trying to communicate and what they said here. So that's my thoughts on that. But let's dive into all of the stuff that they announced here in the State of Play. I am looking at a great little roundup thanks to Logan Plant at IGN. I will start at the top here. We got new gameplay shown for Little Devil Inside.
This was originally announced back in 2020. This is an indie game that I've had my eye on for a while. The gameplay is interesting. I'm still not sure exactly what to expect, but it looks neat. It looks very unique in its style. So, got a new look at that game. We got Bugsnax, the Isle of Big Snacks, which will be a free update to the PlayStation 5 game in early 2022.
And we also have an addendum on that story, which I will add to the document, but you can talk about the other thing.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll just roll right in on that. When this got announced, it was revealed that there were no trophies in this DLC. And one Greg Miller yelled to the developers that be, and they responded and said, there shall be achievements. So us humble gamers who like achievements and trophies and stuff like that, we are getting those. So
good news for Alan, because I saw him being disappointed how we wouldn't have any new trophies, and now apparently Greg Miller bullied them into adding trophies. Good.
Yeah, well, he also has kind of in a shorter line to them, because Young Horses worked with Papa Agenda, for marketing and stuff on the game. So he was just like, "Hey Jen, go yell at them." I'm sure he was just like, "Go do this." But yeah, so getting trophies on the free DLC for Bugsnax coming next year. After that, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach launches later this year. It's going to be coming on December 16th. We got a brand new trailer for that, some gameplay. That if you're a fan of that, I feel like this is more of what you would expect, but I'm not super familiar with the franchise to know how different this might be.
Well, it is very different. Five Nights at Freddy's, for the most part, has been very much, it's very static. You're in your room controlling the other animatronics or the other cameras to see if the other animatronics will kill you. And Five Nights at Freddy's has gone very wild with its lore, and now this one has a very different gameplay because it is a third-person game where you're running around these entertainment complex, and then you have to hide from the other animatronics. It looks like, so it is a very different game.
Yeah,
if you're not
like you could get in one of the like
you can
animatronics, like a mech suit.
Yeah, I know that there is one other Five Nights at Freddy game that is similar to this, the VR game.
Gotcha.
Also,
gotcha. Good stuff. Star Ocean. The Divine Force was announced for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Apparently, this is a long-running franchise, not one that I'm familiar with, but if you are a JRPG fan, this might be one to check out. It looked like it had some interesting traversal. It almost kind of reminded me of what we saw in Forspoken, where the character was like dashing / floating through the air in a little bit there, but who knows what to expect with that one. Then we got the announcement that Death's Door is coming to PlayStation next month. This is an acclaimed indie that a lot of people have on their as a contender for Game of the Year this year. It's not one that I have played yet, but this is launching on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 November 23rd. Studio Ghibli inspired, as well as some like Dark Souls, like Zelda, like it looks like. I've heard nothing but good things about that game. Then we got Deathverse, which is a new battle royale set in the Let It Die universe. Grasshopper Manufacture and Gung Ho's free-to-play Let It Die universe is getting a new entry with Deathverse. The game features PvP, combat, crazy weapons, and character customization. This looked kind of like they're framing it as a TV show.
Yeah.
Or like if you're an X-Men fan, like something that like Mojo would do, or Arcade, something like that. Seemed interesting, not really my style.
Mm-hmm.
I am envisioning Gino playing it at some point.
Yeah, he loves those type of games.
He does.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, though, King of Fighters 15 had a new character announcement, as well as the beta, which is starting next month, which will run from November 19th to November 22nd. The beta includes 8 playable fighters with online matches and an offline training mode, and it will be available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So there you go. I've never played a King of Fighters game.
Yeah,
I've played Mortal Kombat, I've done Street Fighter, I've done Tekken, like all that stuff. I've never played a King of Fighters game.
Speaking of King of Fighters, I have something interesting to tell you about new characters that are coming to the game. And I'm looking for the news story to be certain about how it's happening, so please move on to the next story, and we'll circle around to it.
Well, the next one is First Class Trouble, is a mafia-like game coming to PlayStation Plus. Longtime listeners of our show Crossplay will remember that Gino played this when it was in beta a while back, or in early access or something. He seemed to have quite a bit of fun with this. It seems to be kind of like Among Us, maybe more with the aesthetic of like BioShock, and it's more of like a third person 3D kind of thing there. But I remember him having a lot of fun with that one. In First Class Trouble, a group of players work together to try and escape a cruise ship, but 2 of them are secretly trying to sabotage the team. From November 2nd to December 6th, PlayStation Plus subscribers on PS4 and PlayStation 5 can download the game for no additional cost.
I hadn't realized that it was this game.
Yep. Indeed.
Yeah.
Do you find the news thing that you were going to say?
Yeah, so I hadn't realized that the King of Fighters games 15 was a new King of Fighters game. So they revealed the new characters that are the new roster, and apparently one of the characters is Chilean.
Oh, there you go.
Ah.
Ignacio will be exclusively playing as them. He's
I don't even play the
Chilean King of Fighters streamer. You can catch him on ignacioRojas.twitch.tv.com.
Not even close.
OnlyFans.
So her name is Isla.
Isla.
Or Ayla. I don't know how they'll pronounce
Makes
it.
sense. Yeah. Well, I feel like Isla would be more of the American pronunciation.
Yeah, that's what it is. If it should be Isla,
right? Yeah,
but I don't know if they're going to be going with an English size pronunciation of it being Isla.
I gotcha. Last but not least, here on the Sony State of Play, we got a new look at We Are OFK, which is coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 in 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is one of those like online computerized robot indie boy band things. I don't know what they are. The like VTubers that like make their own music. Like they're not actually VTubers, right? But it's not. Am I wrong in
I don't know
in thinking that these like
know.
aren't actual people. Like this is like computerized things behind. Whatever. This is an indie game. It's an indie story based adventure game that follows the band members of We Are OFK and their career, their love lives, and more. Looks like there's a lot of dialogue trees and flirting if you want to get your flirt on. But yeah,
I think I get now what you mean.
Yeah, the band's EP drops next year.
Like that one League of Legends band.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but I don't know the name of it because I'm not hip, and I'm not cool, like all that stuff. But they had a short trailer for that. Looked interesting. I'm more interested in the game than the band itself, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
that's just me. The game looked neat. It had a cool art style. I liked it a lot. But that was Sony's State of Play.
Yep.
Kind of.
It sure was.
Meh.
Sure was.
That was it. So there you go. Next up on the news, Halo Infinite gave us a brand new look at their campaign. Have you gotten a chance to look at this yet, Ignacio? Nope. Okay, so it's a short, like 6-minute video that kind of dives into the campaign and stuff like that. Let me see if I can look it up here and get it playing in the back of our podcast here. Yeah, so they dropped this. This was a good look at the campaign. I think, especially since it's been a while since we've really gotten a good look at this, we needed something like this. To be honest, though, this was also, at least in my opinion, just kind of meh.
Really?
And not in terms of like whether or not I think the gameplay will be good, but in the sense that we've known most of this info. Like all of the stuff that like they showed off here, like this is mostly, if I'm not mistaken, previously announced stuff. But it's just an updated look at like, okay, we redid the graphics and the texture. Like that was the big thing for me. And I thought it looked phenomenal in that sense. I think it looks good.
Visually, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play this. I cannot wait. But just like in terms of like, yeah, this is like a new overview of the campaign. I was like, okay, we know most of this stuff. But I know there are some people out there who might not have been paying attention to all the blog posts and stuff that they announced that had all of this info here. But yeah, they gave us a bit, let's see here, a bit on the new artificial intelligence that will be your partner in this one, called the Weapon. They gave a bit of info on the open world structure and how you'll be taking down bases and outposts and stuff like that. And as you guys can see here on the podcast on YouTube, how you can summon vehicles whenever you want. And the complete disregard for the care that they have of these vehicles. They just dropped it and just smashed on the thing there. But yeah, this looks good. I'm looking forward to this a lot. Man, they had one scene in here where Master Chief is in one of the... not a ghost. Is it the Phantom?
Banshee?
The ones that fly? Yes, Banshee. That he's in that. It gets destroyed. He jumps out and then uses his grappling hook to another one and then gets in that one. I was like, yo, that was awesome. That was sick.
So this makes me more hype for the game.
To be honest,
or did it not move the needle?
Didn't move the needle for me, but I am already hyped. Like I want to play this game. I like the direction that they're taking this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get back in the world of Halo.
Yeah, so I'm not much of a Halo guy. I played Halo 1 and I really didn't like it. So I do not have much of an input here, but I've heard people who like Halo, and they said pretty much what you said, which is that we didn't see much new here.
Yep.
And they also talked about how in the past they would have shown a lot more about the campaign before release, whereas here, this has pretty much we got a short story teaser at E3, I think, this year, and then we saw the campaign reveal before that, and I feel like it does start to feel a bit like they are kind of hiding it a little bit, because we haven't seen much, which apparently isn't how Halo has been treated before in the past, and some of these coupled with the turmoil, or apparent turmoil that has been going on behind the scenes, how different key people from the game have left the game, or how they have had to restart
co-op
some
is
things.
no longer in
co-op isn't there.
launch.
It has me wondering, are they afraid of something if they're not showing much?
Yes and no. Like we know that this game has had rocky development, but the history of Halo is that most of them have had rocky developments. This is just an interesting one where, they showed it to us, and basically we were all just like, this is bad. Like, this does not look good. And they brought some more people in to help fix things and do all of that stuff. And it seems like they've had to make some tough decisions to be like, ooh, okay, like it sucks to not have co-op there. I know we've like doubled down on having co-op there multiple times at launch, but we're gonna have to fix this. So I think it's gonna be coming in hot. I think it's gonna be a lot better than it was than what we would have gotten last year.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think they know, especially with the Master Chief collection, I feel like they know how to support the game, if that makes sense. So I feel like they'll do a good job getting it to where it needs to be. But it just sucks that it's like it's not there where we won it, like right at the start. So I don't know, but I'm excited though. December 8th, that is what I will be up to playing Halo. I'm excited. Cool. Moving on from that. Story number 3 in our news section. Bobby Kotick asks for minimum salary as Activision addresses toxic culture. To be honest, there's not much that I have to personally say on this, but this is a big update from all of the stuff that is happening from Activision. So we have a good breakdown, or bits and pieces of an article written by Danielle Partisse at gamesindustry.biz, in which her original story started off saying Activision CEO Bobby Kotick has asked the company board of directors to reduce his salary and compensation to the lowest possible amount under California law until substantial changes are made to improve the firm's workplace culture. Moving ahead a bit, Kotick shared 5 new changes that the company is set to make, including the launch of a new company-wide zero tolerance harassment policy. And then in a recent update to the whole story, I guess this happened yesterday as of us recording this, the ABK Workers Alliance, which is Activision, Blizzard, and King, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure who King is there in
King,
that,
the people that made Candy Crush.
Cool. Good to know.
Remember,
Thank you.
Activision bought them at some point.
Good to know. Thank you. Yeah, the ABK Workers Alliance, a group set up by employees across Activision, Blizzard, and King to push for change, has responded to Kotick's letter, calling his statement and the pledges within it a huge win. So that's good for them. And then I guess in a smaller update this morning, ABK tweeted out openly talking about unionization and asking if Kotick would support the union to hold him accountable. I have not checked in a while to see if he's responded in some way, but that is where that was this morning. So there you go. Thoughts on this, Ignacio? Do you have much to say with this one?
No, I don't have much to say. The changes seem to be good, but they also got a good reception from the people demanding those changes. The pay cut, it is more of a symbolic thing than anything. Because I don't think it would help anyone, him earning less. It's more of a good faith thing because we know that a lot of people have problems with how much money Bobby Kotick makes, even though, as it said here, he doesn't set up. He is not in control of his how much he makes because he is an employee under the what's it called, the board of directors who set his salary.
Right. Yeah.
So it is them who will decide how much money he makes.
Danielle noted in her piece that his pay is going to be cut down to $62,500. And I think in here they mentioned that he had recently taken another pay cut kind of at the start of this, but it was still like he was still making big bucks.
Yeah, because I think he had two cuts. He had a cut on his pay cut, on his salary, and also a cut on the bonuses.
Well, because with this one, he's taking the pay cut and no more bonuses and stuff like that.
Because, man, he made a lot of money out of the bonuses.
And if I'm not mistaken, I saw Brian Altano from IGN mention, like, didn't like 4 months ago he get like a $150-something million bonus?
Yeah, he's making millions on bonuses.
What the fuck, man? Like, so he's just like,
again,
like, I don't need to get paid for the foreseeable future. Like, just give me a minimum salary.
He's doing good with money for now. Yeah. He's not gonna be trying to make any savings cuts or whatever. But yeah,
so like you said, that symbolic.
Yeah, it is symbolic because again, the board of directors are the people that set his salary, and they are the ones who are losing money by giving him money. So they are the ones that think, okay, we should be giving him millions, but it is good that he came to them and told them, do not pay me more. It looks bad.
Yeah. Ideally, I would think hopefully whether it's something the board of directors comes to on its own or this group of the workers here, hopefully there's some way to then like reinvest that money they would have paid him into fixing these issues, into training or disciplinary action or restructuring somehow, or who knows what.
That's what you would hope. You would hope that that's happened, but hopefully. We do not know that's gonna happen.
We don't know, indeed. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of it for the like big news. That I'm sure that
we'll keep hearing a lot about the Activision situation for months.
We will.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to our new and notable section here in a sec. Do you want me to continue on and do that section since it's just you and me?
I can take it.
Okay.
I can do it.
Sounds good. Well, then, if that's the case, let's move on to our new and notable.
Okay, first up we have here, Just Dance 2022 is coming out November 4th on The Usual Suspects, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, I'm assuming also. Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, Stadia.
I copied that directly from Game Informer, so maybe that's a mistake on their end, especially if it's on Xbox One. But yeah, who knows?
Would be weird that they do not have it on the console that has the biggest
install base. Yeah,
install base out of all this. Yeah. Also, is it not coming to PC? Do they not come to PC?
I don't think they do.
Huh.
I could be wrong, but or maybe that's something they do down the road of like, hey, it's
play with your keyboard
first and then
play with your keyboard, dancing.
Yeah, right.
Dancing finger.
Left mouse key, right mouse key, left mouse key, right mouse key, right left. Exactly.
Next up, we have The Binding of Isaac: Repentance is coming out on the Xbox Series X and S on November 4th. Where Cards Fall on November 4th, also for Switch and PC.
Yes.
We have here that
one.
Animal. What was that?
I was going to say, go play that one. That was on Apple Arcade when it first launched, and that's where I played it. It's a really neat puzzle game. Definitely worth your time. Go check it out.
Oh, wait, is the game that came out with the launch of Apple Arcade?
It is one of them, yes.
Okay, now we have here on November 5th, we have Animal Crossing's New Horizons DLC Happy Home Paradise on the Switch, of course. And then also that day, Call of Duty Vanguard coming out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, the Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC. On November 9th, we have Forza Horizon 5 for the Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC. Also on November 9th, we have Jurassic World Evolution for PS5, Series consoles, PS4, Xbox One.
It's the sequel, Jurassic World Evolution 2.
So Jurassic World Evolution 2 coming out everywhere except for Switch on November 9th. Then we have to move on to some sad news, but was it to be expected? Digimon Survived has officially been delayed to 2022. Very sad, because that game looks great, but we haven't seen much of the game since their reveal.
Yeah, that was supposed to be out by the end of this year, right? And
I think it was supposed to come out in 2020 at the beginning, and then they moved it to 2021 and now 2022.
And
again, we haven't seen much of the game since the reveal.
These Digimon are not surviving.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do survive. Kyle. We also got the announcement of the PS Plus games that you will be receiving for November. We have Knockout City, we have First Class Trouble, which we talked about already, and we have Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Also,
sucks you are that getting Gino bought that game.
No, yeah, waste of money if you're asking me. Also, Kyle, you did not include here, but they announced that they were gonna give out some PS VR games.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah, if you can look those up. Meanwhile, I continue with Xbox Games with Gold for November. We have Moving Out, available on November 1st to the 30th. Kingdom 2 Crowns, available November 16th to December 15th. We have Rocket Knight on November 1st to 15th. And Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes, available November 16th to the 30th.
There you go.
Kyle, do you have anything for me?
I do, yes. The PlayStation VR games that you guys can get with your PlayStation Plus subscription is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, as well as The Persistence and Until You Fall. I don't know anything about any of those games, but if you have a PSVR, go pick those up.
The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a very good game. Very immersive.
Okay.
No.
Good stuff.
Very good. Highly recommended. And that's it for the new and notable, which is now old and noted.
There you go. With that, let us get into our lightning round.
First news story for our lightning round, we have PAX South has come to an end for the foreseeable future, citing lack of growth in COVID-19.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Yeah?
Sucks indeed. Yeah, I mean, like I've not made it out to a PAX yet. Was hoping to make it out to PAX East at some point, and eventually PAX West, because most of the games industry is all on that West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah, PAX South, I was never interested in going to. I felt like it was a good like middle ground, though, right? But I did just apparently that show did not find the growth that they had hoped, and then with COVID on top of that, it was just like, well, okay.
Yeah, and this is only the South version of PAX. The
Correct.
other versions should still be going.
Correct. Yes.
For the foreseeable future, at least. Next up, we have Nintendo has closed their California and Toronto offices, displacing around 100 employees in favor of their offices in Redmond, Washington, and Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah. So this one is unclear to me if they've moved all of those employees to Redmond and Vancouver.
Well, I'm surprised
their official thing said they are moving some of the employees.
Okay, so they are moving.
I don't know if that's all of them or some of them.
That they had a California and Toronto offices, because, yeah, to me, Redmond is their Nintendo of America headquarters.
Yeah.
So they have at least the one in Washington and the one in Vancouver. So I don't know why they needed offices in California and Toronto, considering that California and Washington are next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is because of that they didn't see any reason to actually have those offices there. Maybe they weren't getting anything out of it.
Maybe.
But at least some of the employees will be able to be relocated to the other office. Next up, some good news. Amy Hennig has announced that Skydance Media is going to be working with Marvel Games on a new project. No official title or release date yet. And Kyle is very excited.
I am. Yeah. The Marvel games we've gotten so far have been amazing. And yeah, I'm excited to see. I don't know if this is going to be story based or multiplayer.
I'm assuming it is. It has to be if it is Amy Hennig.
Especially with her, in charge. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I would love this to be like a Black Panther thing or a Captain Marvel thing. Right, we've already gotten Spider-Man. We're getting Wolverine. We just got Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's maybe I guess I should put Miles Morales in there too. Right,
Kyle,
that stuff has been amazing.
You're the comic guy. Do we have any treasure hunter in the Marvel universe?
I mean, I'm sure you could find some or make some character. Like there is the Savage Land in Marvel where all those dinosaurs are. Yeah, that's an X-Men related thing typically. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things. I know a lot of people want like an X-Men game proper. But yeah, we'll have to see what they do. It'd be nice to have one that is led by a woman. Again, Captain Marvel would be nice.
Right? That could be cool. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Also, you mentioned it a little bit, but yeah, it is quite surprising how many Marvel games we are getting, or how many good quality Marvel games we are getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you remember, Disney Interactive used to be a thing back in the day, and then once they shut it down, people were unclear where it was going to. And it seems that it was a good decision, because Disney has been going to all these developers and have been making some very good games.
Thank you, John Drake.
Thank you, John Drake.
Yeah.
All him. Yeah. But yeah, it is very cool that they are going to people and they are actually giving these people access to their IP. And they are making very good games, like you said, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. I particularly like the Avengers game. So, very good. Next up, we have, according to Streamlabs, Facebook Gaming has surpassed YouTube Gaming in views during Q3. So we have 2 bullet points here. Facebook saw an increase of 59%, while YouTube saw a decrease of 32.5%. And then the other one is Twitch was at a 70.5% of total hours watched in Q3, Facebook at a 15.7%, and YouTube at a 13.8%.
Yeah. I remember at some point in the midst of like the start of the pandemic, you and I talked about a story of just like how much all of these streaming platforms grew that, and Facebook like shot up by like 200% or something like that.
Also,
something
Mixer,
wild. Mixer was still there.
In the dirt.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been interesting to see because YouTube has been making some great steps to improve their platform, whereas Twitch has not. And kind of the recent meta conversation about streaming is like, hey, should we be moving over to YouTube? And there's been a lot of streamers that have moved over there. And it's been working out fantastically for them. So it's interesting to see that Facebook is still bigger than YouTube gaming.
Yeah.
So,
but also, like we said,
is.
Facebook and YouTube are respectively at 15 and 13% of total viewership. Yeah. Whereas Twitch is at 70%. So they're still at a comfortable lead.
They are. It is still like doing the good default.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the last news stories that we have here, speaking of YouTube Gaming announced a few new and long-awaited features coming in 2022, including gifted subs, improved discoverability for live streams, more editing and moderation tools, and improvements to the chat experience. So Kyle, I know that you were pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, this is neat. I mean, I'm not much of a like game streamer and stuff like that, but we are live on Twitch right now. We do some of our private live streams on YouTube. I kind of watch some YouTubers and tech streamers and all that stuff that have been talking about this, and this has been one of their big things of just like why can't we gift subs? Like that's what the community wants to do of just like, hey, like let's bring new people in and just start gifting out subs and doing this and doing that. So they announced that this stuff would be coming soon, which is good news that they are in fact making these moves here. So good for them.
Good on them. And also, like we talked before, Facebook just surpassed them, so they have to be doing new stuff if they want to regain the space that they just lost.
Indeed. In the long run, I think YouTube is maybe one of the better positioned platforms that you can be on, because they have the all-in-one thing, right, where you can put up your regular videos, you can live stream, you can do the YouTube shorts, all that stuff. So if they really get their shit together, they are in prime position to like dominate.
Yeah, and also we're talking about a very specific thing, a very specific niche. Let's talk about of the things that YouTube does, because it is at a third place to Facebook and Twitch, but that's only accounting gaming or maybe live stream. I don't know how specific it is, but everything else, video, it is a dominating platform.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been doing like the YouTube shorts for our podcast, just like small snippets of what you might expect on the show or funny bits, stuff like that. And they've been doing really well for our channel, which has been encouraging. But maybe one day we can actually get you guys to listen to the podcast and not just our like 1 minute long thing. One day.
One day.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all of the news that is fit to print on your earballs. So, Ignacio, what are you excited for this week? What are you hoping to get into? Are you hoping to play more Guardians? Is there something else you're looking forward to?
Well, first of all, we have the November 1st over here is a holiday, so I don't have any classes there, so I can hang out with friends that day. So other than that, which is pretty cool. November 4th is this week. I don't know, Cal, if you do know what November 4th is. It's Eternals.
It is, yeah.
I think, right?
It's out that weekend. I think technically it's out the 5th, but yeah, you can go like the night before to see the premiere.
Over here it is. I know you guys do mostly Friday releases. We do Thursday releases, so it is out before here. And I might be able to. Also, I might be able to go on Wednesday because one theater here, at least for Venom, I could do the Wednesday before release. So I don't know if they have the same for Eternals.
That's what I mean. Like the whole thing is a big farce because they'll be like, it's out on Friday here in the United States, and I typically go on Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's just like it used to be the midnight releases, like were the special thing, and then that became like the hot cool thing to do, right? And then they were like, well, not everyone can stay up till like midnight or 2 or 3 in the morning. So what if we do it in like the afternoon? So it's like Thursday at 6 p.m. Go see the new movie that's out tomorrow. It's like, no, that just means it's out on Thursday.
I think so. Yeah.
Dummies. So yeah. Eternals.
Dude,
I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, me too.
For that.
Me too.
For right now, it's just Guardians. I have that until Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably dip into Forza since that's on Game Pass. Stuff like that.
How
but
much will you play?
Probably not much. I'm not expecting to really get into that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, the only game that I have here on my calendar of games I'm looking forward to is Pokemon on the 19th.
Yeah.
That's the last game for the year for me.
There you go. I have Halo after that, but
I play Halo, but it is not a game that I'm looking forward to.
This week is all Guardians. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is about it. So, Ignacio, where can the people find you on the internet?
Well, people can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB. So check it out.
Yo, you guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you guys want to follow all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, you guys can follow us at the Whatnauts on Twitter. Let's go like, share, subscribe. You guys know the deal with that. That would help us out a ton to spread the word. This has been episode 96 of Crossplay, and you have been played. Peace.
Bye.